This is what a bowling ball looks like as it passes through the machine. Corridor crew and Eric Beck built a fully functional, transparent bowling ball with an Insta360 camera inside. In Cairo, Egypt, the garbage problem reaches extreme levels, especially in the Manshiat Nazar neighborhood, known as the Garbage District. There, thousands of people make a living from recycling, collecting and processing waste that covers streets, homes, and even rooftops. Despite the harsh conditions, Egypt recycles 85% of its garbage, far surpassing Western countries that only achieve 25%. However, this achievement comes at a high human cost. Children work in recycling plants, and entire families live in unsanitary conditions, facing the daily challenges of poverty and pollution. In Canada, there's Spotted Lake, a saline body of water located in British Columbia that partially evaporates in the summer, leaving behind circles of minerals of different colors. The most curious thing is that, according to the beliefs of the Okanagan Native people, each spot has different healing properties. The formations change shape and color depending on the climate and the concentration of minerals such as calcium, sodium, magnesium, sulfate, and chloride. Although it looks like something out of this world, it's completely natural. However, you can't swim in it. In these technological times, robots are helping us with many tasks, but can you imagine them replacing our pets? If you don't believe it, check out Miko 3, a robot that teaches games and educational content to your children, interacting with them like a real child. The Ruko 1088 can tell stories, do gymnastics, or play music for your children, showing emotions. Eilic, on the other hand, will make you laugh and get a different reaction just by touching it. Luna is a robot dog that understands gestures and reacts in real time, and you can speak to it with voice commands. It plays with you and entertains your children with its interactive screen. The Joy for All is a robot shaped like a dog or cat that makes soft, tender pet sounds and movements, ideal for older people. Which one would you buy and why? Leave your answer in the comments box. Although it may look like a gimmick, this car is 100% real and fully functional. The engine, wheels, and mechanics still work. Did you know that the color pink doesn't actually exist? It's not in the rainbow. It doesn't have its own frequency. So why do we see it? Our brain interprets colors according to the wavelengths of light. Red, green, blue. They all have their place in the visible spectrum, but not pink. There's no pink light as such. The thing is, when we see a mixture of red and blue light, our brain should show something as green, but it doesn't, because red and blue are at opposite ends of the spectrum. So the brain says, I don't know what to do with this. I'll make up a new color, and that color is pink. It's a kind of mental trick, a visual illusion. So yes, pink is an imagined color, your brain's creative solution to a problem that doesn't exist. And yet we see it everywhere. Amazing, right? The world's smallest hotel is inside a Volkswagen Beetle.
What?
In the middle of the Jordanian desert, Mohammed Al-Malahim transformed his old Beetle into a cozy room for two. He did so as a tribute to his mother and his love of cars. The interior is decorated with traditional hand-embroidered fabrics and includes a bed, homemade breakfast, and a nearby cave that serves as a reception and dining room. All for just 40 Jordanian dinars, about $56 a night. More than just comfort, it offers an authentic, cultural, and highly Instagrammable experience. Would you sleep there for the experience? Wait a minute. I need you to see something. How is it possible that 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel? Remember that subscribing is free! The more of us there are in the community, the more videos like this I can continue to make. Support the channel with your subscription, give me a like, and leave a comment for the algorithm. In 1770, the young Mozart, barely 14 years old, traveled to Rome with his father Leopold. There, he attended a solemn Holy Week ceremony in the Sistine Chapel, where he heard Gregorio Allegri's Miserere Mei Deus, a choral work jealously guarded by the Vatican, and whose copying or distribution was prohibited under threat of excommunication. This piece was transmitted orally. It was not written down. Its beauty deeply impressed Mozart, who, according to legend, managed to transcribe it from memory simply by hearing it. Many experts indicate that his version is surprisingly faithful to the original. The copy was published in 1771. Pope Clement II, instead of punishing him, surprised him by awarding him a Knight of the Order of the Golden School, recognizing his exceptional talent. This is how the world's tallest woman has to travel by plane. She has to reserve 6 seats and use a platform. When traveling lying down, she has to stretch out completely, which helps her avoid discomfort and health problems. Makoko, known as the Venice of Africa or the Venice of the Poor, is a floating neighborhood located in the Lagos Lagoon, Nigeria, where some 200,000 people live in houses built on stilts. Although its aquatic lifestyle makes it picturesque and culturally rich, they face numerous challenges: poor infrastructure, gangs, and limited access to clean water and sanitation. Still, its authenticity has begun to attract tourists and photographers interested in experiencing a reality different from that of Italy's Venice. Makoko is a symbol of resilience, community, and life on the water amidst adversity. In Misiones, Argentina, grows the Yacaratia, the only tree in the world with edible wood. Its trunk, 93% water and cellulose-free, is soft, nutritious, and easy to digest. Used by the Guarani, engineer Robert Pascuti patented a 3-day process that makes it suitable for consumption. It is subjected to high and low temperatures that break down its structure without affecting its nutrients. Today, you can find it in the form of alfajores, chocolates, jams, and gourmet dishes. The Yacaratia, rich in magnesium, is a delicious example of innovation and the circular economy. Would you dare to try it? In Peru, scientists have discovered a spider of the genus Cyclosa in the Amazon rainforest that is capable of constructing 3-dimensional replicas of itself using its silk. These figures simulate the spider's body, and when a predator approaches, the spider shakes the web, making the replica appear to move. In this way, the predator attacks the replica, and the real spider escapes. This behavior was first observed in 2012 and represents one of the most sophisticated examples of visual deception. Phil Torres, an entomologist who documented the phenomenon in Tambopata, Peru, stated, "It's as if the spider understands how its predators see it and uses that against them." This is footboxing, a peculiar and quite intense combination of football and boxing that has become popular in Russia. Believe it or not, black icebergs do exist. A fisherman named Halur Antoniusson encountered one while sailing in the Labrador Sea in Canada. The building-sized iceberg impressed the fisherman so much that he took a photo, which went viral on social media. The image was so striking that scientists sought to explain the phenomenon. They concluded it was due to ultra-compacted ice without bubbles that doesn't reflect light, and also to dark sediments or volcanic ash trapped inside. Meanwhile, some ufologists claim it's of extraterrestrial origin. Did you know that a plastic-eating fungus has been discovered in the rainforest? Scientists have identified an Amazonian fungus called Pestalozziopsis microspora that naturally digests polyurethane plastic and even thrives without oxygen. First discovered in 2011 by Yale student researchers in Yasuni National Park, Ecuador, this fungus can use plastic as its sole carbon source and thrives in oxygen-free environments like the interior of landfills, which has sparked interest in combating landfill pollution in sustainable and pollution-free ways. A team from China's University of Petroleum has successfully created paper using desert sand. Yes, it sounds unreal, but nothing is surprising in China. The new material known as stone paper is made from desert sand rich in calcium carbonate and agricultural waste, such as cotton stalks. This innovation represents an ecological alternative to the traditional paper industry, which is highly dependent on deforestation and water consumption. This new paper is waterproof, durable, recyclable, and completely chemical-free. Mobile factories are being deployed in the Taklamakan Desert, creating jobs and reducing logistics costs. A team of Minecraft players has spent years building a full-scale replica of New York City within the game. They've recreated the entire city, taking care of every detail, street by street, and building by building. The internet is mesmerized. These new videos created with artificial intelligence are causing a stir. They're ASMR clips where planets, video fruits, perfect vegetables, and impossible textures are sliced. Everything is digital, but so realistic and satisfying that you can't stop watching. What's fascinating is how they combine surreal creativity with the sensory pleasure of visual ASMR. Slice the earth like it's gelatin, of course. And best of all, it doesn't make a mess. Have you succumbed to this visual vice yet? Comment which one you'd like to see sliced. I'll read you. Incredible, right? Wait, I'll tell you from the beginning. South Korean military officer Oh Yohan set a new Guinness World Record by performing 11,707 pull-ups in 24 hours in Incheon, South Korea. His incredible feat, achieved between September 28th and 29th, 2024, quickly went viral online. The South Korean dedicated the record to the Republic of Korea's 707 Special Mission Group, stopping at exactly 11,707 repetitions to honor his unit. Years of rigorous training prepared him for this challenging achievement that has inspired countless people around the world. In Scotland, Ebenezer Place is considered the shortest street in the world. It measures just 2.06 meters and has only one door, the entrance to the Mackay's Hotel. It was officially registered as a street in 1887 and has held its curious world record ever since. Despite its tiny size, it attracts thousands of tourists each year who stop to take a photo in front of the sign bearing its name. Some visitors even cross it from one end to the other just for fun. A corner so short you could lose sight of it in the blink of an eye. The Swole Bold is the first exercise-activated snack bowl. When it detects you're working out, the lid opens and you can grab a snack. But if you stop exercising, it closes instantly. Does your dog tremble every time there's thunder or fireworks? There's a next-level solution. It's called Pet Shell, a portable, aquatic shelter that looks like something straight out of the future. It's designed to reduce noise by 50% within canine hearing range, using materials like hemp wool, memory foam, and a structure that mimics the inner ear. Besides being ultra-comfortable, it integrates into your home like a stylish side table to treat your pet in style. It comes in 2 sizes and costs between $2,000 and $3,000. Would you spend that much for your pup's peace of mind? On July 3rd, 2015, NASA astronaut Nicole Voper-Ayers captured a stunning red lightning flash known as a sprite over Mexico and the United States from the International Space Station. This rare atmospheric phenomenon is triggered by intense thunderstorms. The image offers a striking visual account of how these flashes form in the mesosphere. The photographed sprite allows scientists to better analyze its relationship with thunderstorms and improve climate models thanks to its clarity and level of detail. This event sheds light on phenomena that are difficult to capture from Earth's surface. There's a scientific experiment that allows you to create a real cloud inside a simple plastic bottle. All it takes is a little hot water, air, and a lit match to release microscopic particles. When you cap the bottle, press it firmly, and quickly release it, the vapor condenses and forms a visible cloud inside. This experiment is used in schools around the world to teach the principles of atmospheric physics in a fun and visual way. A miniature storm you can hold in your hands. Mohammed Tawfik has one of the fastest reflexes ever recorded in a person. It takes him just 18/100ths of a second to drop a bill, press the spacebar, and catch it again in midair. And yes, that's how incredible it looks in real time. Can you believe a fish measuring just 12 centimeters can create underwater mandalas 2 meters in diameter? Yes, the male pufferfish does just that off the coast of Japan, moving sand for days to design perfect patterns and decorate them with shells, all to win over a female. But if she rejects him, the sea mercilessly erases his work. It's ephemeral, pure, and moving art. Perhaps these young artists don't remember that beauty doesn't always need to last. Neuralink presented a stunning demonstration where Alex and RJ, 2 people with paralysis, played Call of Duty using only their thoughts, thanks to a brain implant. This advancement, known as telepathy, allowed them to move, aim, and shoot without physical controls. The technology already makes it possible to type, move cursors, and play games using the mind, opening up new possibilities for people with motor disabilities. With 7 human patients in testing, Neuralink demonstrates steady progress in bringing the idea of controlling devices with thought closer to everyday reality. A milestone that merges neuroscience with technology in a revolutionary way. In Norway, an artist took music to the next level by building a piano made of ice, from the keys to the strings. Each part of the instrument was precisely carved from frozen blocks. The piano can only be played for a few hours as it slowly begins to melt in the heat of the environment. The most fascinating thing is that the sound changes depending on the temperature, making each performance unique and unrepeatable. This is how they ensure that car logos and model names always remain in the exact right place. They use precise guides that indicate where each emblem should go. Fly earrings are a new trend. They're incredibly realistic. They use materials that mimic the insect's wings, body, and even legs. Itzamara Vega was diagnosed in utero with fetus in fetu, a rare condition where one malformed twin grows inside the other's body. Detected at 35 weeks gestation, the ultrasound revealed a 5-centimeter twin without a brain or heart that was being nourished through an independent cord. This anomaly, first described in 1808 and present in 1 in 500,000 births, is usually discovered after birth. Doctors performed an early cesarean section to avoid complications. Thanks to the timely intervention, Itzamara was born completely healthy and without any after effects. In South Korea, some publishers have begun printing books using seed paper, a biodegradable material containing tiny seeds embedded in its fibers. After finishing reading, readers can bury the pages, give them as gifts, and watch flowers, basil, or even tomatoes sprout. This innovative idea unites reading with sustainability, allowing a story to live on long after the last page. It's a poetic and ecological way of transforming literature into nature. What you're seeing is an eyelash mite. They're called demodex, and they live peacefully at the base of your eyelashes, eating dead skin cells and natural skin oils. They sleep during the day, come out at night, and rarely cause problems. You have microscopic inhabitants and you don't even realize it. Anna Smrek is a professional volleyball player with enormous legs. Look at them compared to a 1.6-meter man. Did you know that Louis Vuitton opened a luxury boat-shaped store in Shanghai called The Louis in one of the city's most exclusive areas? The 30-meter-high structure offers an immersive experience that combines art, design, and culture. It includes an exhibition about the brand's travels, workshops with live artisans, a concept store, and even a themed cafe. The initiative seeks to connect with the Chinese public amid a decline in luxury consumption in the region. The Hawaiian Islands are home to a small but amazing fish called the Sisiopterus stimpsoni, also known as the mountaineering fish. Despite its tiny size, it possesses the incredible ability to scale waterfalls several meters high, using its mouth and suction cup-like fins. This behavior allows it to ascend wet rock faces to reach calmer, more remote areas, away from the cold, where it lays its eggs. It is one of the few known fish to perform such an extraordinary physical feat. An aquatic creature with the spirit of a mountaineer. This small set of plates is inspired by a planet. Although it's only for 2 people, it's sure to turn heads. Mach is a unit of speed measurement based on the speed of sound. It is primarily used in aviation and aeronautics to indicate how many times faster than the speed of sound an object is moving. Thus, an object takes off at 200 kilometers per hour. Thus, at Mach 1, the speed of sound. Mach 5, Mach 50, and Mach 100. In Indonesia, the Kelimutu volcano crater is home to 3 naturally color-changing lakes. Their waters can range from turquoise to dark red to emerald green, depending on the combination of minerals at the bottom and the volcanic gases released. Each lake changes color independently, making the landscape look like something out of a fantasy world. However, despite their magical appearance, their waters are highly acidic and dangerous. A beauty that dazzles but should not be touched. A Slovak innovator surprised the world by creating the first transparent coffee, called CLR-CFF. At first glance, it looks like bottled water, but when you taste it, it tastes just like a traditional cup of coffee. It also contains the same amount of caffeine, so it also does its job of keeping you awake. The secret lies in a high-pressure filtration process that completely eliminates the brown color without altering its aroma or flavor. It was specially designed to prevent tooth stains. A drink that wakes you up without leaving a visible mark. The edges of your pupils are formed by dark folds of the iris that protrude slightly and have a fiber-like texture, like tiny fringes. They look like hundreds of fingers. Can you imagine having the world in your backyard? Well, that's what Søren Poulsen did, a Danish farmer who spent more than 25 years placing stones, soil, and grass on this lake and forming each of the continents by hand. The map measures 45 by 90 meters, covering approximately 4,000 square meters. It uses a scale of 111 actual kilometers per 27 centimeters on the map. In Poland, there is a mysterious place known as the Crooked Forest, where more than 400 pine trees grew with their trunks bent into a J shape. Although it is believed that this deformation was caused by human intervention, possibly to manufacture curved wood, to this day there is no confirmed explanation. The trees grew healthy, strong, and with unusual shapes that seem straight out of a fairy tale. A corner of the world where nature twists for no apparent reason. The Amorphophallus tritanum, also known as the corpse flower, is one of the largest flowers in the world and also one of the smelliest. Its smell resembles that of rotten meat, which attracts carrion insects to pollinate it. This plant can take years to bloom, and when it does, its flower grows up to 3 meters tall. It only remains open for a few days. Despite its stench, it is a botanical event that attracts thousands of curious onlookers. The lover's toilet was designed for couples who enjoy doing absolutely everything together. Yes, even pooping. It's eco-friendly. With a single flush, both sides are clean. Would you dare to do it together next to your partner? This scene from Transformers: Dark of the Moon is one of the most complex in the history of visual effects. This robot is made up of more than 70,000 individual moving parts. Some frames in this scene took up to 288 hours to render. More and more cities around the world are installing ground-mounted traffic lights designed for people walking while looking at their cell phones. These are LED lights embedded in the sidewalk that change color like a normal traffic light. This way, so-called zombie pedestrians can see when to stop without having to look up. It's a curious but effective adaptation to common behavior on modern streets. Do you think this solution should be implemented in your city? Let me know in the comments. Slavisha Pajkic, nicknamed Battery Man, has the incredible ability to withstand electric shocks that would render anyone unconscious. His body seems to function as a natural insulator. He can store current, light bulbs with his hands, and even heat water, using only his electricity. He has been studied by scientists who, although they haven't fully explained how he does it, are a human being who seems straight out of a comic book. Eccentric manners and unusual jewelry store. All of its pieces revolve around the eye. You can send a photo of you and your partner and have them make personalized rings. This way, you can take their eye with you wherever you go. Each piece is handmade with eco-friendly resin and polymer clay. Egmond Molina holds the Guinness record for bursting a hot water bottle in record time. He did it in just 2.87 seconds. Beneath the streets of Seattle, in the United States, lies an underground city that was buried after a massive fire in 1889. Instead of rebuilding on the ruins, authorities raised the street level and built a new city on top. However, the original passageways, shops, sidewalks, and display cases remain intact underground. Today, they can be explored on guided tours, offering a direct glimpse into the urban past. A silent ghost town that is still there, right beneath your feet. In Indonesia, the Kawah Ijen volcano offers a striking natural phenomenon. At night, the lava appears to glow an intense blue. However, this glow isn't actually lava, but sulfur gases that ignite when exposed to air, creating a unique and almost magical spectacle in the darkness. This rare phenomenon attracts scientists and adventurers from around the world who seek to witness it firsthand. The fastest accelerating car today is the Rimac Nevera R. It reaches 100 kilometers per hour in 1.7 seconds, or 200 kilometers per hour in 3.9 seconds, and 0 to 400 kilometers per hour in just over 17 seconds. This isn't a dried leaf. It's a spider with incredible camouflage. Its curved body is a shade of brown and beige, with a texture and a shape that perfectly mimics a dried leaf. The Heinz brand took the idea that tomatoes are fruit very seriously. Heinz Tomato Ketchup Smoothie is a drink that blends ketchup with acai sorbet, apple juice, strawberries, and raspberries.
I like this.
It's weird, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
A mother duck interrupting a wedding ceremony by crossing the venue with her ducklings went viral on social media. The moment sparked laughter and awe among the wedding attendees. A guest recorded it, and the video was made in just a few hours. Streamer Kai Tanat and his production team built their room on a giant scale. Check out how small they look in the chair. Anna Maria Hefele specializes in a truly astonishing vocal technique: harmonic, polyphonic singing. What makes her so special and so popular on the internet is that she can sing two notes at the same time. When she sings like this, it seems like a flute is hidden in her throat. Her precision is so extreme that she can change harmonics to create melodies with the second note while holding the first. Barber Bohdan Vasilkov is going viral for these haircuts, from bold geometric patterns to designs that look like optical illusions. Sony is preparing to launch its new PlayStation 6. Leaks indicate that this new PlayStation will have 825 gigabytes of storage, a system for games up to 8K. It will also be available in portable and desktop versions. In its portable version, it allows you to take your game library anywhere without losing performance or visual quality. It will also offer more advanced voice assistance and fluid augmented reality, making your experience as realistic as possible. It is expected to be released in early 2028 and could cost between $400 and $500. Would you buy it? In this graph, we can see the deepest lakes in the world. Wait, the deepest one is missing. It contains approximately 20% of the world's unfrozen freshwater. At Oyopi Coffee in Tokyo, apple blossom tea is the most popular drink. Apple slices are carefully arranged in a flower shape inside the cup. When they come into contact with the hot liquid, they slowly expand. In Glacier View, Alaska, there's a festival whose sole purpose is to launch cars and trucks from a cliff about 300 feet high into a pond, while hundreds of spectators watch from nearby. The vehicles, often old and disused, are painted and decorated in extravagant ways before being pushed into the void. Believe it or not, this hairbrush is more than that. It's a disguised defense weapon. The hair fryer brush conceals a high-voltage stun gun for women who want to feel safe in the event of an attack. By removing the brush and activating the safety button, it becomes an electric shotgun that can paralyze the attacker. It also has a flashlight and is USB charged. Its head is removable and washable, so you can use it as a brush, and its safety system prevents accidental activation. Would you buy this brush? Leave your answer in the comments. Did you know there's a right side to tie your shoelaces? And no, it's not magic. It's physics. It turns out that if you tie the final knot the wrong way, your laces loosen on their own with each step. But if you do it right, the knot tightens as you walk. This is what happens if you tie the knot to the left, counterclockwise. It loosens with each step. And this is true if you tie the knot to the right, clockwise. Notice how no matter how much you move it, it doesn't loosen. This sport is called disc golf. It's like traditional golf, but instead of balls and clubs, frisbees are used. And instead of holes, the objective is to throw the disc into a chain-linked metal basket. HTX Studio, a China-based engineering and technology team, has developed a series of smart trash cans that can quickly move to where objects are being thrown, reducing the chances of trash ending up on the ground. These bins are equipped with cameras and machine learning software that allows them to detect and predict the trajectory of thrown objects. I knew they were creating drones for everything, but I never thought about a drone that floated. China surprises us again. A group of engineers developed this drone called the TY3R, which is capable of flying towards a person in danger, landing in the water, and acting as a float until the person is rescued. Yes, I'm wondering the same thing. How waterproof is it? Well, let me tell you. It has IP68 certification, which means it can be submerged up to 1 meter deep for 30 minutes. It's designed to withstand strong waves and winds, and can support the weight of up to 2 adults in the water. Jonuchi is a Japanese YouTuber who claims to have the world's longest chin, which he claims started growing when he was around 5 years old. The good thing is, he takes it with humor. Have you ever seen this trick where it appears as if a man is sitting in mid-air? This is how they do it. The person is actually sitting on a carefully camouflaged, hidden metal structure. If you look closely, one of his feet rests on a solid base on the ground, which supports his entire weight. This base is covered with a rug or cloth, to make it go unnoticed. Chinese car brand Xpeng includes an augmented reality feature in some of its vehicles that allows drivers to launch virtual emojis at other cars. This feature is designed to help drivers relieve stress in the face of reckless drivers in a safe and fun way. Although it may seem unusual, in 2010, a Spanish woman named Maria Angeles Duran declared herself the owner of the sun. All this due to a legal loophole that allowed her to do so. Maria, a psychologist and lawyer by profession, used her legal knowledge to draw up the notarial deed, declaring her the owner of the sun. She argues that since there hasn't been a previous owner in 5 billion years, ownership belongs to her by adverse possession. She even attempted to sell portions of the sun on eBay, and later sought to tax humanity for the use of sunlight. Interestingly, she received numerous lawsuits from people seeking compensation for skin cancer and other diseases. You know, technology has come a long way when cars deliver themselves. With the help of autopilot, a Tesla left the Tesla factory in Texas and drove about 30 minutes to its new owner's home in Austin. Ducks and many other birds have a gland at the base of their tail that secretes a waxy oil. They use their beaks to absorb this oil and spread it throughout their plumage. This oil creates a protective film that repels water like a raincoat. This nymph named Ariel memorized the iPhone's alarm tone. In Canada, a 75-year-old woman named Gail Lane lost her vision due to a disease that destroyed her corneas, leaving her sight for about a decade. However, everything changed in August 2025. Gail regained her vision thanks to an operation in which one of her eyes was replaced with a tooth. This procedure, called osteo-odonto-keratoprosthesis, is very rare but has been successful. First, a tooth is extracted from the patient and implanted in one of their cheeks for a couple of months so that it is surrounded by strong connective tissue. Then, both the tooth and the tissue are removed from the cheek, a hole is made in the tooth, and then a small lens is embedded in the middle. Finally, the tooth is fixed into the eye socket, and after a few months, vision is restored. Mind-blowing, right? Give the video a like if you found this procedure as incredible as I did. Sometimes lions eat so much that they are unable to move for a while. It's very common for books to be wrapped in a paper sleeve when you buy them in Japan. It's not gift wrapping, it's for privacy. Many people don't like others to see what they're reading on the train or in the park. This discreet cover is like a little secret shield. Did you know that white Lego pieces are the most durable? The yellow one can hold a weight of 550 kilograms. The black one, 5x60. The blue one, 5x65. The red one, 600. And the white one, 630. This has to do with the material and pigments used. Very intense colors, like blue, can make the plastic brittle. The white pigment strengthens the plastic instead of weakening it. Check out this device from the Apexel microscope team. It's a microscope adapter for your phone's lens. It weighs 17.5 grams and costs $41, turning your smartphone into a microscope with up to 200x magnification in a matter of seconds. I've already ordered mine. What about you? Will you buy it? Let me know in the comments. Balenciaga has launched a new bracelet. That's not adhesive tape. It's a $200 bracelet. Would you wear it, or is it too expensive for you? Rebecca Young, a 12-year-old girl, won an engineering competition with more than 70,000 entries by creating a solar-powered thermal blanket. Her innovative design includes solar panels that charge batteries during the day, providing heat for up to 8 hours at night. The blanket regulates temperature, is lightweight, and easy to manufacture, making it ideal for homeless people or victims of natural disasters. The creation has generated admiration both for its usefulness and for the fact that it was developed by such a young girl. A truly inspiring invention. This isn't a leaf. It's a baby batfish. These tiny fish mimic floating leaves to fool predators and go unnoticed. Their camouflage is so convincing that even the most keen eyes can mistake them for floating debris. When they grow large enough, they shed their disguise and swim freely in open water. A group of dogs with their medical supplies watching the operation on a stuffed animal they had torn with their teeth while playing went viral on social media. The clip went viral because the three remained still and seemingly preoccupied, like scolded children watching the operation. The world's largest paintball is located in Alexandria, Indiana. Its creator has been adding a layer of paint to a baseball every day since 1997. Today, it weighs approximately 4,189 kilograms and is 5.5 meters in circumference. This camping thermos is actually a water purifier. It's called the MKC X Grail GeoPress TI and has a capacity of 710 milliliters. It's made of titanium, allowing it to double as a pot. Its filter removes viruses, pesticides, and heavy metals in just 8 seconds, leaving the water ready to drink. The cartridge has a capacity of up to 250 liters, ideal for camping or hiking. Would you buy it? Oh yeah, I didn't forget. The bottle costs $220. Do you know which animal's sound carries the farthest? On Earth, a wolf's howl can travel up to 16 kilometers under favorable conditions. Water is much denser than air, allowing sound waves to transmit more efficiently. The blue whale emits deep infrasound that can travel more than 1,600 kilometers underwater. Meet Manul the cat, a kitten that lives in the cold mountains of Nepal, Mongolia, and Tibet. He differs from other felines in his thick, soft fur that protects him from the cold. His ears are small and widely spaced, with a flat face and short legs. Females can gestate in 76 days, giving birth to up to 7 kittens. He feeds on rodents, rabbits, and fences. Sadly, he's considered almost endangered due to poaching and habitat destruction. He's a wild cat, but he's still cute, don't you think? Flying noodles are a peculiar dish from China. They use super hot oil while the noodles hang, allowing them to cook and harden in that position. Did you know there's a festival just for redheads? It's called Redhead Days, and it's held every September in Breda, the Netherlands. It was born thanks to painter Bart Rauwenhorst, who was inspired by artists like Rossetti and Klimt, famous for portraying redhead beauty. Today, thousands of red-haired people travel from all over the world to celebrate their uniqueness with art, activities, and a whole lot of community. It's more than an event. It's a tribute to what makes us unique. Mercedes-Benz had a brilliant idea to show off its braking technology. They made toy cars that couldn't crash. How did they do it? They put hidden magnets in the front, so when 2 cars approached head-on, instead of crashing, they repelled each other. Kids hated them, but it was a great advertising campaign. Did you know that the church publishes a list of books banned for being considered immoral or harmful to the faith? The Index of Prohibited Books, as it was called, was published by Pope Pius IV in 1564 in its first edition and was removed until 1969 at the Second Vatican Council, meaning it remained in effect for nearly 500 years. Its purpose was to protect the faithful from ideas the church considered dangerous. Reading these banned books could lead to ecclesiastical sanctions and even persecution by the Inquisition. Works by authors such as Machiavelli's The Prince, books by Erasmus of Rotterdam, René Descartes, David Hume, Galileo Galilei, Nicholas Copernicus, Kant, Nietzsche, and others, whose scientific discoveries challenge the beliefs of the church, were also banned. Wow, what a disturbing fact, don't you think? This is what happens if you stick your leg out during a helicopter ride. The current is so strong, it momentarily deforms the skin. Can you imagine climbing Everest not once but 31 times? Kami Rita, a 55-year-old Nepalese Sherpa, just did it, breaking his own world record. Since 1994, he has reached the summit almost every year, braving storms, extreme cold, and now the effects of climate change. While some use technology like xenon gas, he remains faithful to the Sherpa tradition. Yet he warns, "I don't want my son to follow this path." His story is both a record and a warning. Would you dare to climb it just once? In Brescia, Italy, there is a ghost artist called Ghost Pittur. While many go out at night to paint graffiti, he does just the opposite. He erases it. Armed with brushes, paint, and paint, he cleans battered walls and brings them back to life. At dawn, where there were once scribbles and stains, a clean new wall appears. Wallace's frog, also known as the flying frog, is native to Southeast Asia and has a surprising ability. It can glide between trees thanks to the membranes that connect its legs. By opening them like wings, it can travel up to 15 meters in a single leap, controlling its direction in the air like a natural glider. This trick helps it escape predators and move between branches without touching the jungle floor. A small amphibian, tiny but with a talent worthy of a superhero. Imagine a bridge made only of wooden poles that doesn't fall down. It has no nails, glue, or ropes, yet it stands as if defying gravity. It's the self-supporting bridge, a brilliant invention popularized by Leonardo da Vinci. This genius devised a structure where each beam rests on another, creating a self-locking system. The weight is distributed, and the friction between the pieces keeps it standing. The pieces fit together at an angle, and when you press down, they lock together. It's like a balancing act that grows stronger with pressure. The more weight you put on it, the more stable it becomes. Can a manga cause a national panic? Ryo Tatsuki's The Future I Saw, published in 1999, returned to the headlines in 2025 for a supposed prediction of a major earthquake in Japan on July 5th. The author claimed it was all a premonitory dream, but the fear went viral on social media like X, causing flight cancellations and a drop in tourism in Japan. Although scientists insist that earthquakes cannot be predicted, collective anxiety has already left its economic mark. Do you believe in prophecies or science? Share your opinion and prepare yourself, but without paranoia, please. Did you know that only 18 out of every million Lego bricks have a defect? The secret lies in their super precise steel molds and manufacturing with tolerances of just thousandths of a millimeter. Every piece fits together perfectly. In the plant world, orchids have developed surprising strategies to ensure their reproduction. Some species mimic not only the shape, but also the scent of female insects, successfully deceiving males. When the latter attempt to mate with the flower, they end up covered in pollen, which they then transfer to other orchids. This biological trick has evolved over millions of years and is a fascinating example of how nature can deceive in order to survive. A floral strategy that combines beauty, cunning, and a touch of natural illusion. At Cameron Air Park, California, cars are out of fashion. Here, residents do their shopping by plane. Founded in 1963 next to the local airport, this airside community has 124 homes and streets as wide as runways. Mailboxes are low to avoid damaging wings, and hangar-like garages house everything from Cessnas to lawnmowers. Best of all, you can walk out of your living room, taxi directly onto the runway, and take off like you're going to get bread. Here, the noisy neighbor has propellers. Motorola and Swarovski have teamed up to launch earbuds that look like luxury jewelry. They're called the MotoBuds Loop and are designed with Swarovski crystals. The best part is that they don't go in your ear, but rather hook like hoops, blending style and technology. They have spatial audio, 4 microphones, 12mm speakers, and Bose-signed sound technology. They will soon be available in several countries and will cost around $350. Ideal for those who want to listen in style and on a budget. Would you wear them or keep them in a jewelry box? Chinese artist Wang Liang, known as the Invisible Man, uses body paint to blend seamlessly into natural and urban environments. He is a master of camouflage. In Japan, the Sagano bamboo forest, located in Arashiyama, Kyoto, is considered one of the most magical places on the planet. Its paths, surrounded by towering stalks, create a natural tunnel where light filters through in a unique way. But the most impressive aspect is the sound. When the wind blows through the bamboo, it produces a hypnotic sound that has been recognized as a World Sound Heritage Site. Walking there is like entering another world where nature and spirituality intertwine in an unforgettable experience. Saving corals with art and sound isn't science fiction, it's coral sonic resilience. Artist Marco Barotti created 3D underwater sculptures made of ceramic and calcium carbonate, placed on damaged reefs. But here comes the magic. Solar speakers play sounds of healthy reefs. The effect? Coral pups and fish hear it and happily move in. Settlement can increase up to 7-fold. The sculptures serve as temporary homes while the real reef regenerates. It's art, science, and the sun collaborating under the sea. What if your next computer had real human neurons? The CL1, created by the Australian company Cortical Labs, is the world's first biological computer. This biotechnological marvel combines a silicon chip with living lab-grown neural cells capable of learning, adapting, and forming connections just like a real brain. The CL1 consumes just 1,000 watts compared to the millions used by current artificial intelligence centers. Plus, it doesn't need a mouse or keyboard. The neurons respond to a virtual world simulated by the BIOS, a unique operating system. The price? Around $38,000. Incredible or disturbing? I'll read you in the comments. Mike Shake built a giant slingshot that shoots enormous steel balls. Instead of tightly tensioning the bands, he uses a special crank that tenses them until they're ready to fire. When released, the balls shoot out with impressive force. Listen to how it sounds when it's fired. In England, one of the most enigmatic geoglyphs is found, the Cern Abbas giant, a gigantic figure carved into a hill depicting a naked man with an enormous club. The curious thing is that, in addition to its enormous size, it is also said to conceal symbols of fertility and power. Its origin is a mystery. Some believe it was the work of the Romans. Others think it was created in the Middle Ages as a political satire. Despite the centuries, the figure remains intact thanks to local maintenance. What figure would you carve into a mountain that would last for thousands of years? In Japan, children don't wear backpacks. They wear randoseru. These backpacks look like something out of an anime. Rigid, elegant, and so durable, they survive 6 years of elementary school, earthquakes, and even lunch fights. They can cost over $500 and weigh over 1 kilo empty, as if you've been training your back since you were 6. Originally, they were black for boys and red for girls, but today they come in all colors. Some even have GPS and reflective lights. And yes, many end up as family heirlooms or kawaii museum pieces. Luma AI has just dropped a bombshell. Modify Video, a tool that lets you change clothing, backgrounds, lighting, and even people in a real-life clip. No green screen, no motion capture, and no reshoots. All from the browser, maintaining expressions, movements, and the camera, as if they'd always been that way. For now, it only works with 10-second clips, but the quality is already impressive. If this keeps improving, will filmmaking continue as it was before? Or will physical sets become a thing of the past? A revolution or an evolution of cinema? I'll read you in the comments. Did you know that the first YouTube video to reach 100 million views was the music video for Avril Lavigne's song Girlfriend? In Romania, there is a fascinating place, the Scarășoara Cave, which hides an underground glacier considered one of the oldest in Europe. This block of ice is estimated to be more than 3,000 years old and contains around 120,000 cubic meters of ice. Discovered in the 19th century, the cave attracts explorers and scientists who study its frozen layers to understand what the climate was like in ancient times. Entering it is like stepping back in time to an ice age that still breathes beneath the earth. Scientists in the United States have successfully transformed spinach leaves into human tissue by removing their cells and using the plant structure as a support for injecting human stem cells. These cells multiply and organize, forming tissues similar to skin or blood vessels. This breakthrough opens up enormous possibilities for regenerative medicine, allowing the creation of organs without the need for a donor. Although human trials have not yet been conducted, the signs are positive and promise revolutionary applications. Do you think the resemblance between human tissue and leaves is a divine sign or just a coincidence of no great significance? Imagine walking through a tea field in China and finding a robot harvesting tea with the delicacy of a human expert. Its name is Junxiao. Launched in April 2025, it's revolutionizing agriculture with artificial intelligence, multispectral sensors, and 3D vision. It detects the tenderest shoots and harvests them without damaging the plant. It navigates uneven terrain with pinpoint precision and adapts to different environments without changing its hardware. Imagine having an alarm system for your computer, but with a spy movie style. This product is a laser sensor that works like an invisible thread. When someone approaches, it detects movement and automatically hides what you're doing on your computer. One of the world's strangest flowers grows in Asia, the Takachantrieri, known as the bat flower. Its petals are so dark purple, they resemble wings spread out in the shadows, and long, whisker-like filaments emerge from them. some measuring up to 70 centimeters. This plant typically flourishes in humid, tropical climates, and its mysterious appearance has made it a highly sought-after species among collectors of exotic flowers. A unique flower that seems straight out of a fantasy story. Have you ever wondered why submarines can implode when submerged too deeply, but fish aren't affected? The key lies in the pressure difference between the interior and exterior. If the external pressure is much greater than the internal pressure, the pressure will try to crush the submarine like a tin can. Fish, on the other hand, have flexible and adaptable bodies. They are biologically designed to withstand pressure changes. They have a swim bladder that regulates the amount of gas inside, maintaining pressure balance and preventing implosion. Submarines, on the other hand, rely on rigid structures that can fail under extreme pressure. Meet the leaf sheep, a tiny sea slug that looks like a walking leaf mixed with a woolly sheep. Found in the coastal waters of Japan, Indonesia, and the Philippines, it's not just adorable, it's also brilliant. It photosynthesizes by stealing chloroplasts from the algae it eats, allowing it to convert sunlight into energy just like a plant. Its tufts on its head, called rhinophores, help it detect food and potential mates in the water. Camouflaged and self-sufficient, this tiny slug is a true expert at survival. Would you add the leaf sheep to your list of favorite rare sea creatures? In Bangkok, there's a restaurant that serves food in a very unusual way. It uses a zip line to deliver the dishes to customers. Each order becomes a spectacle. The rainbow eucalyptus, native to the Philippines and Indonesia, is one of the world's most striking trees due to the multicolored appearance of its bark. As the outer layer flakes away, it reveals a brilliant green that eventually transforms into shades of orange, red, purple, and brown. This natural process creates a visual effect, as if the trunk were hand-painted with vivid brushstrokes. In addition to its beauty, the tree can reach over 70 meters in height, making it a natural spectacle impossible to ignore. When we think of spider webs, we imagine webs used to hunt prey. But silkhenge breaks that mold. This strange silk structure protects spider eggs and still holds many mysteries. Scientists have not identified the species that creates them, nor have they directly observed their construction. It is thought that they may also function as territorial signals or as attraction for potential mates. Their design is fascinating. A silk needle with 1 or 2 eggs in the center, surrounded by a circular fence. Its name, silkhenge, comes from its resemblance to the British monument Stonehenge. In Denmark, there's a sculpture called the Singing Ringing Tree, made of metal tubes that emit sounds when the wind passes through them. It's located high on a hill, and its spiral design allows the air to create musical notes that change according to their intensity. From a distance, it looks like an abstract work, but when you get closer, it sings. It's a unique fusion of art, nature, and architecture that transforms the landscape into a sonic experience. Its sound can be haunting or soothing depending on the weather. In Switzerland, the Glacier Express operates a tourist train that connects the cities of Zermatt and St. Moritz. The curious thing is that despite traveling only 290 kilometers, the trip takes more than 8 hours. The reason? Its speed is intentionally slow, so passengers can enjoy the alpine scenery. It crosses 91 tunnels and 291 bridges, offering spectacular views. An experience where the destination matters less than the journey. Would you like to travel slowly just to enjoy the journey? On Christmas Island, an Australian territory in the Indian Ocean, one of the most impressive animal migrations on the planet takes place. Every year, more than 45 million red crabs leave the forests and travel kilometers to the sea to breed. Roads, trails, and even backyards are completely covered with these crustaceans, transforming the landscape into a veritable moving red river. Residents build tunnels and special diversions to protect them along the way. It's a unique, natural spectacle that makes the island the scene of a phenomenon worthy of admiration. The AceBeam W50 is one of the world's most powerful flashlights, with 80,000 lumens, capable of providing light even during the day. Its sale is restricted to law enforcement, the military, rescuers, and industrial sectors. It costs over $3,000 and weighs 150 grams. It includes a handle, power and power adjustment buttons, and a cooling fan that works even underwater. It's ideal for extreme operations, not for home use. If you ever see a blinding light in the woods, it's not a UFO, it's this flashlight. Would you buy it if you could? What would you use it for? Let me know in the comments. In India, there's a road where cars appear to climb a slope without using the engine, even in neutral. This phenomenon isn't magic, but an optical illusion caused by the shape of the terrain that fools both the eye and cameras. Many tourists experience it for themselves, letting bottles or vehicles roll down it to see how they ascend on their own. It's an experience as disconcerting as it is fun. This type of location is known as a magnetic hill. In India, the Karni Mata Temple, located in the state of Rajasthan, is home to more than 25,000 sacred rats that roam freely among the faithful. These rodents are considered reincarnations of people protected by the goddess Karni Mata and are offered milk, sweets, and absolute respect. Visitors walk barefoot among them as a sign of devotion. Seeing a white rat in the crowd is interpreted as a sign of good fortune. This is a unique temple where rodents are venerated as living deities. The warm waters of the Caribbean are home to the feared and fascinating fireworm, a marine animal that seems straight out of a myth. Its body is covered with hundreds of white bristles that glow like burning embers in the light, giving it a hypnotic appearance. However, its beauty hides a danger. These bristles contain venom capable of causing intense and painful burns upon contact with the skin. Although it is a feared creature, it also inspires admiration among divers who dare to observe it up close. The Supertruck 2 looks like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's real. Developed by the US Department of Energy, this cargo truck uses a 48-volt diesel-electric engine, an aerodynamic design, a curved windshield, rear-view mirrors, night radar, and blind spot detection systems. It's lighter, safer, and more efficient, capable of transporting large loads while reducing wind resistance. It also offers the driver total comfort with a folding bed, sofa, and dining and rest area. It's a giant step toward the future of cargo transportation. I already saw myself driving one, and you? In some regions of Vietnam, coffee is served with salt instead of sugar. Although it may sound strange, this practice enhances the natural flavors of the bean and reduces bitterness without making it sweet. What began as a local custom has now attracted attention in coffee shops around the world. This unexpected twist on the traditional recipe has won over many curious palates. If you're a coffee lover, maybe it's time to try something new. In Japan, Kawachi Fuji Garden is famous for its spectacular tunnel covered in wisteria flowers, a sweet-scented, trailing plant. During spring, This floral walkway transforms into a living ceiling that ranges from white to lilac to deep purple. The air is filled with a scent reminiscent of fresh honey, and the place attracts thousands of visitors each year. A walk among flowers that seems like something out of a dream. Wolfia globosa, also known as water rice, is the smallest flower in the world at just 1 millimeter in size. At first glance, it looks like a tiny green dot floating in water, but it hides great nutritional potential. Despite its microscopic size, it contains high levels of protein, iron, and antioxidants, making it a surprising supplement. In some Asian countries, it is already consumed as part of the traditional diet, added to soups and stews. A natural miniature with gigantic power. Meet Iron Cub, MK3, created by the Italian Institute of Technology. It's a 1.90 meter long, 70 kilogram flying humanoid robot capable of propelling itself forward using propulsion systems. Although its childlike appearance evokes a sense of unease, the robot can walk, open doors, and manipulate objects, making it ideal for rescue missions in inaccessible areas. Although remote-controlled, it represents a major leap forward in robotic mobility. In Italy, divers have created small marine greenhouses called Nemo's Garden, where they grow basil, strawberries, and lettuce. These bubbles are anchored to the seabed and generate a perfect microclimate for plant growth. No pesticides are used, irrigation occurs through condensation, and the result is astonishing: fresh food grown underwater. This experimental project seeks solutions for areas with limited fertile soil. Growing crops among fish and coral sounds strange, but it could mark the beginning of something great. Could this be the future of agriculture? The Mimosa pudica plant, known as the sensitive or don't touch me plant, is famous for its ability to move its leaves rapidly at the slightest touch. When touched, its leaflets fold, and its stem bends as if reacting in fear. This movement is a defense mechanism to scare away curious insects or animals. It can even react to vibrations or sudden changes in light. A plant that behaves as if it has its own reflexes. Have you ever seen a plant that hides when touched? In several African countries, giant African rats have been trained to perform a surprising mission, detecting landmines hidden underground. Thanks to their keen sense of smell and light size, they are able to identify unexploded explosives, making them true silent heroes. These animals work alongside demining teams and have helped save thousands of lives by clearing seemingly uninhabitable terrain. The most impressive thing is that, in addition to being fast, they are also very precise in their work. In this globalized and technological age, there are many forms of transportation, but one that truly stands out is the water taxi. This model, called Sea Bubbles, was developed in France and is notable for its zero-emission emissions. It glides 50 centimeters above the water thanks to its glass skates. It reaches speeds of 18 kilometers per hour and has capacity for 4 passengers. It generates no waves or noise, making it ideal for urban aquatic environments. It also features monitoring software that allows for analyzing variables such as weather and water depth. In the city of Zadar, Croatia, there is a sea organ that produces music using only the power of the sea. Beneath a series of stone steps, hidden pipes are placed that, when struck by the waves, generate harmonic sounds. Each melody is unique, as the wind, tide, and timing create unrepeatable combinations. There is no score or musical direction, just the Adriatic composing in real time. A symphony without a composer, created by the sea. While many pups are known for their boundless energy, Paningning, a Shih Tzu, has taken the internet by storm in an unexpected way: her unique sleeping style. This adorable dog has gone viral for her unusual nap positions, especially when she sleeps on her back with her paws in the air, completely relaxed. Her owner, Janice Kwa, began sharing photos and videos of her naps, and in no time, Paningning became a social media sensation, amassing more than 100,000 followers on Instagram. Although her fame comes from her long naps, when she's awake, she's a whirlwind of energy. She runs, plays with her canine siblings, and after a while, she returns to what she does best: sleeping like the world doesn't exist. Stig Severinsen, a Danish freediver, stunned the world by holding his breath underwater for 22 minutes, breaking a world record. To achieve this feat, he trained his body with yogurt, meditation, and absolute mental control, minimizing his oxygen consumption. His feat not only demonstrated the incredible human capacity to overcome physical limits, but also the power of discipline and self-control. A true example of how the mind can take the body to the impossible.
22 minutes.
Recent studies have revealed that bee venom could eliminate the most aggressive breast cancer cells. According to this research, the venom can halt the growth of cancer cells thanks to bioactive components such as melittin, which has been shown to have cell-killing properties. Although initial results are promising, the research is still in its early stages. Therefore, it is not recommended to use this treatment without medical supervision, as bee venom can cause severe allergic reactions in some people. In Scotland, there are the Kelpies, two enormous horse head sculptures made entirely of steel that reach 30 meters in height. They represent the draft horses that once powered industry and transportation in the region. But the most striking feature is their hollow structure. When the wind passes through its interior, it produces a sound resembling deep breathing. It's as if the metal horses come alive with each gust, a blend of art, wind, and life. Since school, we've learned that if we place something heavy in water, it will instantly sink. We know that unless we're talking about mercury. Did you know that mercury is so dense that even an iron anvil floats in it? Its density, 13.5 grams per cubic centimeter, is almost twice that of iron, which is 7.8 grams per cubic centimeter. Therefore, even though it weighs 50 kilograms, it stays on the surface. Impressive, don't you think? In Greece lies Meteora, a unique place where enormous rock formations rise like pillars into the sky, and monasteries that seem to float in the air were built on their summits. For centuries, these temples were refuges for monks seeking spiritual isolation and protection. Today, they are part of the World Heritage List and attract thousands of visitors who marvel at the combination of nature and architecture. A team from the KAIST Institute in South Korea has achieved a revolutionary breakthrough by restoring vision without surgery through retinal regeneration. The key finding was the elimination of the protein PROX1, which blocks neuronal regeneration in the mammalian retina. This approach restored vision in mice. And although human trials are in their early stages, the discovery opens a path of hope for those suffering from vision loss. With more than 300 million people affected worldwide, this innovation could transform ocular medicine. A revolutionary elevator system called Multi was developed in Germany. It doesn't use cables and can move both vertically and horizontally. It uses magnetic levitation technology, similar to that of the Japanese bullet train. This system allows multiple elevators to operate simultaneously without the risk of collisions, optimizing the flow within skyscrapers. Its design transforms the way people move within buildings. The architecture of the future will move in all directions. Have you ever wondered how long a second really is? The official definition of a second in the International System of Units, ISU, is the duration of 9,192,631,770 periods of the radiation, corresponding to the transition between two hyperfine levels of the ground state of the cesium-133 atom. Yeah, I didn't understand either. In simpler terms, the cesium atom emits a specific radiation. A second is the amount of time it takes for that radiation to oscillate, which is 9,192,631,770 times. Previously, the second was defined as a fraction of a solar day. In 1967, the definition changed to be based on much more stable and precise atomic phenomena. In Nigeria, there is a very peculiar place known as Igbo Ora, nicknamed the Village of Twins. There, the birth rate of twins is the highest in the world, a phenomenon that has surprised scientists and curious observers alike. Although there is no definitive explanation, it is believed that genetic factors and the local diet, rich in yams and green leaves, may play a role. The inhabitants consider it a blessing and celebrate each birth with pride. Strolling through its streets is like entering a world where doubles are the norm. Pearlfish have one of the most peculiar coexistences in the ocean. They live inside the rear ends of sea cucumbers. Yes, literally. These tiny silver creatures squeeze through the toothless anus of the cucumber, seeking shelter, protection, and sometimes food. Some even become parasites, feeding on the host's internal organs. This underwater roommate is possible because sea cucumbers have an internal cavity called the respiratory cloaca, which oxygenates the body and becomes the perfect hiding place. Although it sounds disgusting, it's a natural relationship that shows how strange and creative marine bonds can be. Did you know there's a world map that shows you the cyber attacks happening right now in real time? It's called CyberMap and was created by Kaspersky. This online tool displays a 3D globe where you can see how malware, phishing, botnets, and more are digitally attacking different countries using striking colors, symbols, and visual effects. It's like watching an invisible war unfold before your eyes. You can also see real-time statistics, the most attacked countries of the day, and historical figures by continent and country. On the internet, we've seen certain animals use very clever strategies to attract their prey. Such is the case with this heron, which steals a piece of bread but doesn't eat it, instead using it as bait to attract fish. The green heron is a very intelligent animal that waits very stealthily while the fish go for the bread. It's not yet known if it's seen humans use these baits or how it learns, but its hunting strategies are fascinating. Do you know of another animal that does something similar? Tell me in the comments. The anti-gravity A1 is the first drone capable of recording in 8K and 360 degrees, leaving no blind spots. Thanks to its 2 lenses and an advanced digital stitching system, the drone itself disappears from the footage, creating clean and fully immersive aerial shots. It weighs only 249 grams, making it more practical and easier to fly without many restrictions. One of its major innovations is gesture and gaze control, allowing intuitive control. For those who film events, it opens up the possibility of capturing concerts, weddings, or festivals from every angle, as if the viewer were actually there. In Ukraine, there's a place that looks like something out of a fairy tale, the Tunnel of Love, in the small town of Kleven. This natural tunnel was formed when an industrial train passed through a stretch of land, surrounded by trees, several times a day. Over time, the branches adapted to its path, creating a perfectly curved, 5-kilometer-long green corridor. Today, only a train occasionally passes through it, and the rest of the time, it's a romantic and magical destination for tourists and couples looking to fulfill the local myth. If 2 lovers cross it, hand in hand, their wish will come true. Ideal for romantics or those looking for a free wish. What if your chair could train you, massage you, help you rehabilitate, and all with artificial intelligence? At CES 2025, BodyFriend unveiled the 733 massage chair, a $20,000 robotic chair that looks like something straight out of the future. Inspired by biomimicry, it features movable arms and legs, unilateral stretching, PNF exercises, heat therapy, and magnetic acupressure. It can move its parts 96 degrees to help you sit down, stand up, and improve your posture. It also includes 50 automatic massage and training programs and is controlled from a touchscreen app. Let us know if your back needs it now. Antarctica is home to one of the most enigmatic and striking natural phenomena on the planet. Blood Falls is a waterfall that springs from the Taylor Glacier, a deep reddish color resembling blood. The origin of this natural spectacle is due to a groundwater system trapped beneath the ice for more than 1.5 million years. This reservoir possesses an extraordinary concentration of iron, which, upon contact with oxygen on the surface, oxidizes and acquires the crimson hue that characterizes the area. Scientists emphasize that this process makes blood falls a unique phenomenon, not only for its age, but also for the extreme conditions it presents, comparable even to environments on other planets. A reminder of the diversity and complexity that the Earth still holds in its most remote corners. Meet Bastien Dos, a French acrobat who turns gravity into an illusion. What makes him unique is the curious device he created for his shows, a huge rotating structure similar to a seesaw that seems to defy the laws of physics. On this moving bar, Dos balances, jumps, and glides as if he weighed nothing, transforming each movement into a true living sculpture. His shows aren't just acrobatics. They're pure poetry in motion, where engineering and art meet in the most unexpected ways. Would you like to try his seesaw as much as I do? In the not-so-distant future, you could install knowledge in your brain like apps. Quantum engineering in 10 seconds. With transferred intelligence, it could be possible. In 2011, researchers at HRL Labs managed to improve flight learning skills using electrical brain stimulation, like hacking the brain to learn effortlessly. This technology, still in its infancy, seeks to connect us to neural databases, accelerating learning to science fiction levels. Imagine learning languages, playing instruments, or piloting drones without practice. This story sounds like post-apocalyptic fiction, but it was 100% real. Between 1997 and 1999, Mexia Supermarket operated in Fort Worth, Texas, until it went bankrupt and was abandoned with all the food inside. Without electricity or refrigeration, the place transformed into a true biological hell. Toxic gases, maggots, mold, rats, cockroaches, and oxygen levels so low that workers needed NBC suits to enter. The stench was so strong that neighbors said their heads hurt just walking by. The cleanup was so extreme that it was filmed like a horror movie and cost over $50,000. The asteroid belt is a ring of rocks and fragments that orbits between Mars and Jupiter. In Star Wars-type movies, we see these asteroid zones as rocks colliding with each other, very close together, but this is a myth. The reality is a vast, mostly empty space. The asteroids are very far apart. On average, there are more than 1 million kilometers between them, making the belt like a cosmic desert. The probability of colliding with an asteroid is less than 1 in a billion. Getting close to one requires precise planning. Otherwise, you'd miss it. Phew, my inner child got over a fear, knowing that he wouldn't crash into them if he were an astronaut. Did you know there's an ancient technique that transforms metal into true works of art? It's called cloisonné, and it originated in the ancient Byzantine Empire around the 6th century, although it later reached its peak in China during the Ming and Qing dynasties. The process begins with a copper or bronze base, on which fine metal wires are placed to form patterns and compartments. These tiny spaces are filled with brightly colored enamels, and then the piece is fired at high temperatures. The result is spectacular: jewelry, vases, and decorative objects that look as if they were painted with fire, with a shine that never fades. Cloisonné is not just craftsmanship, it's the perfect union of patience, precision, and eternal artistry. Forget steel. The world's toughest fiber is called Dyneema, and it's so strong it could out-wrestle the Hulk himself. This technological marvel is 15 times stronger than steel and so light it floats on water. Where is it used? In bulletproof vests, military armor, spacesuits, rescue ropes, and even in sailboats that survive hurricanes. Its secret is a polyethylene with a long name and polymer muscles. If there were an invisible ninja rope, this would be it. Long before immersive video games and the metaverse existed, someone was already dreaming of virtual reality. In 1956, Morton Heilig created the Sensorama, considered the first virtual reality prototype. It wasn't a headset like today's, but a huge arcade-style machine. It allowed you to watch 3D movies, feel vibrations, smell aromas, and even feel the wind, all synchronized. His goal was for the viewer to truly experience it. Although it was far ahead of its time, it didn't receive commercial support, but its legacy lives on in every VR headset today. Would you like to try it? Remember the floating house from Up? Well, the Japanese company Air Danshin is unveiling its project, a house that can rise in moments to protect it from earthquakes. This works through an isolation device. The house is made of wood and is positioned on a kind of deflated airbag. Whenever seismic activity is detected, it will automatically inflate in moments. Once the activity has passed, the house settles again. This technology was tested a couple of years ago and showed the expected results. Do you think this innovative invention will save the lives and homes of thousands of people during earthquakes? Answer me in the comments box. In the 19th century, in Venice, Italy, there was an invention as curious as it was scandalous. It was called a vanvera. And what was its purpose? Well, something we all do, but no one wants to admit in public: hiding the sounds and smells of farts. Yes, that's right. The vanvera was a leather bag that was discreetly placed under clothing, designed to muffle the sound and neutralize the smell, conveying it to a window via a tube. Basically, it was the first silencer in history, not for guns, but for butts. Although it may seem funny today, at the time it was seen as an etiquette invention, perfect for keeping up appearances in high society. Further proof that human creativity knows no bounds, especially when it comes to hiding the inevitable. Get ready to meet the hidden king of the forest, Armillaria ostoyi, the largest and most inconspicuous fungus on the planet. It's not a giant mushroom, but an underground network of mycelium that lives beneath the forests of Oregon, USA. It covers about 3.5 square miles and is estimated to be over 2,400 years old. It's basically a zombie fungus. It feeds on living trees, slowly infects them, and continues to grow. Although we only see its tiny mushrooms in the fall, beneath the soil lies a network worthy of science fiction. So yes, the world's largest living thing is a killer mushroom with natural Wi-Fi. The oarfish is as mysterious as it is impressive. This elongated, silvery fish with a vibrant red crest can reach up to 17 meters, making it the longest bony fish on the planet. It lives at depths of up to 1,000 meters and is rarely seen, so every sighting is a viral event. Its long, undulating, silvery body moves like a ribbon floating in the water. Curiously, when it appears on the surface, many associate it with earthquakes, although there is no scientific proof. Its strange shape has fueled myths of sea monsters for centuries. This is what LeBron James's feet look like after 22 years of brutal NBA demands. After 22 years in the NBA, LeBron James's feet are a brutal testament to the price of high performance. Calluses, deformities, and structural wear tell the story of explosive jumps, falls and turns, and thousands of hours on the court. At 40, LeBron is still among the elite, but his feet tell a different story. One of calluses, deformities, podiatric scalpels, and up to $7,000 a month in care. One podiatrist summed it up best. This is what happens when you carry an entire sport on your feet, and yet the king is still standing. Scientists at Nanyang Technological University in China have created a robot capable of carrying a human baby in 10 months. An artificial intelligence selects suitable sperm and eggs, which are then inserted into the robot's artificial uterus, which receives nutrients through a hose installed in its abdomen. The robot is not an incubator, as it can replicate the entire pregnancy process, from conception to birth. The technology has already been successful in animals and is expected to help infertile women. However, it has received numerous criticisms. Critics point out that it is cruel for a fetus to be born without a mother's connection. These robots are expected to be launched as prototypes, costing approximately $14,000 within a year. Do you think this practice is ethical? I look forward to reading your comment. Did you know that the oceans also suffer from brittle bones? It's called ocean acidification, and it's happening because the sea absorbs much of the carbon dioxide we emit. The result? The water becomes more acidic, dissolving calcium carbonate, the material with which many marine creatures like corals, mollusks, and plankton build their shells and skeletons. Basically, the ocean is developing osteoporosis. This threatens the base of the food chain and could even affect the fish that end up in your sushi. If the sea breaks, so do we. A bag worth more than a mansion. In 1984, Jean-Louis Dumas, director of Hermès, designed an exclusive bag for Jane Birkin after she spilled her things on a flight and complained of not finding a practical bag. Thus was born the first Birkin, handmade in black leather and with unique details. Decades later, after belonging to collector Catherine B., it was auctioned in Paris for $10.1 million and acquired by a Japanese luxury goods collection company. It has a fixed strap, engraved initials, personal markings, and even a nail clipper. Fashion, history, or millionaire's madness. We all remember the famous 1987 musical Dirty Dancing, a film with epic songs and dances. However, did you know its stars hated each other? Yes, Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey had a tense relationship during filming. Patrick was a perfectionist, arrogant, and got very upset because Jennifer was more relaxed and laughed during takes when she made mistakes, which frustrated Patrick. One example was the tickling scene during dance rehearsals. Jennifer's laughter was recorded so many times that Patrick's anger was real. The actors had had a bad relationship since working together on Red Dawn in 1984. She cried easily, she was excited, and he made fun of her, the film's producer stated. Patrick would even tearfully apologize for the bad times he caused Jennifer. Their professionalism was such that they left a film that endures to this day. And you, have you seen Dirty Dancing? Did you notice this tension? Let me know in the comments. We know how tedious it is when our food gets cold, when we take it to work or on a trip, and we don't always have something to heat it up right away. Well, not until now. The East Oak Electric Lunchbox is a lunchbox for adults that heats your food using a rechargeable battery. It has a memory function that remembers your settings so you don't have to adjust it every time you use it. Plus, it has a divider, so you can separate meats from vegetables or sauces. It's priced at $105. It's definitely something we'd like to buy for trips, don't you think? Get ready to discover Bleak House, Guillermo del Toro's secret sanctuary. This place isn't his home, but a temple to creativity. It houses more than 10,000 books, life-size figures of Frankenstein and Lovecraft, automatons, props from his films, and a room where the sound of rain always sounds. Here he writes, dreams, and surrounds himself with monsters because, for Del Toro, monsters are friends. It even has passageways and display cases full of rarities. It's closed to the public, though, all VIP monsters. Tell me, what monster would your sanctuary have? In 1951, William Albee revolutionized extreme terrain transportation with the Rolligan tires. Designed to move over snow, sand, mud, or tundra without sinking. These giant tires operate at low pressure, allowing them to distribute the vehicle's weight over a large area. They are so soft that they can run over a person without causing harm, as their pressure is lower than that of a human footprint. Made of ultra-resistant rubber and nylon, they are used in the oil industry, military missions, and scientific exploration. Although it may seem like a fairy tale or unreal, researchers in Japan have developed a way to naturally create new teeth in adults. After testing on mice and ferrets, a clinical trial began in 30 adults missing at least one molar. The treatment consists of an intravenous injection of an anti-USAG1 antibody and is expected to be commercially available by 2030, if the results are positive, of course. This procedure could replace dental implants with regenerated natural teeth. It would benefit people missing teeth from birth and open the door to regenerative therapies in other controlled tissues. Famed actor Dwayne Johansen, better known as The Rock, was overcome with tears as he received a 15-minute standing ovation from critics and audiences at the Venice Film Festival for his outstanding performance in The Smashing Machine. The film, which premieres November 13th, and tells the story of Mark Kerr, the legendary mixed martial arts fighter who became an icon of the sport, but struggled with addiction and a turbulent personal life. For Johnson, this role represented an intimate project that required him to show vulnerability and emotional depth. Critics hailed his performance as brave and transformative, and one of the best of his career. Imagine waking up one day and believing your best friend has been replaced by an identical imposter. This isn't paranoia or science fiction. It's Capgras syndrome, a rare psychological disorder where the brain disconnects visual identity from emotional connection. That is, you recognize someone's face but don't feel it's that person. It affects people with schizophrenia, dementia, or brain injuries. And incredible as it may seem, some patients believe that even their pets or their homes have been replaced by exact copies. The brain is weirder than any thriller. In a world saturated with screens and overstimulation, Yoto Player emerges as a consistent and fun alternative for children. This audio player has no screen, camera, or microphone, and works with physical cards that activate stories, music, and podcasts without ads or a direct internet connection. It promotes a safe, calm, and distraction-free experience. It also functions as an alarm clock, night light, and thermometer. Its durable design is designed for small hands, While parents control the content and usage time, imagination takes center stage once again. Believe it or not, there was a grandmother who used a hand grenade as a hammer for 20 years without knowing it. The woman, surnamed Chin, found the object 2 decades ago while working on her farm. Upon seeing the object, she used it as a hammer to crush peppers or nuts because it was a metal object. She recently learned what it was when workers she hired to demolish her old house identified it as a real, intact hand grenade. They immediately called the police to analyze the object. Authorities confirmed that the grenade could still be activated. Ultimately, the device was confiscated and safely destroyed. Did you know that the country that consumes the most wine per capita isn't France, Italy, or Argentina? It's the Vatican. With only about 800 inhabitants, the average consumption exceeds 70 liters per person per year. The reason? Daily masses with wine, official banquets, and a population primarily of childless adults. Plus, many residents are members of the clergy with a refined taste for fermented grapes. Add to that the fact that there's no alcohol tax, and voila! Wine for All Saints' Day. Did you know that the famous smiling poop emoji wasn't actually supposed to be poop? That's right. In its first appearance in Japan, this icon was an innocent chocolate ice cream with a happy face. But of course, its spiral shape and brown color sparked the global imagination. And the ice cream transformed into poop with attitude. Apple kept it on its keyboard due to its popularity, and today it's one of the most used and misinterpreted emojis in the world. Sweet irony or viral accident? Who knows? In the city of Kobe, Japan, there's a fully automated train with no human driver. The Portliner was the world's first to operate completely autonomously since 1981. It uses sensors, precise scheduling, and real-time monitoring to operate with pinpoint safety. While many modern trains already employ similar technologies, this one was the first to let artificial intelligence do the driving. Traveling without a driver may seem strange, but in Japan, efficiency comes first. In Japan, the Sakurajima volcano offers a spectacle as impressive as it is terrifying. During some of its eruptions, it not only spews lava and ash, but also generates thunderstorms. This phenomenon occurs when electrically charged volcanic particles collide with each other, creating friction in the air and triggering lightning that illuminates the ash clouds. It's one of the most extreme natural images on the planet, where fire mixes with electricity in a single instant. Would you dare to see an eruption with lightning up close? Let me know in the comments. I'll read you. In Washington, there is a mysterious shaft known as Mel's Hole, which supposedly has no bottom. A man claimed in the 1990s to have thrown more than 25 kilometers of rope without reaching the end. Although never officially verified, the story generated hundreds of theories, from secret phases to interdimensional portals. Curiously, there are records of animals avoiding the area. Real or modern myth? The truth is that Mel's Hole has become a legend of radio, mystery, and imagination. In Kazakhstan, a curious ice volcano appears every winter. It forms when groundwater erupts under pressure and freezes upon contact with the air, creating a conical structure that spews steam and icy water instead of lava. This natural phenomenon, which can reach over 14 meters in height, has become a draw for photographers and adventurers who brave the cold to contemplate its ephemeral beauty. Would you dare to see it even if your feet were freezing? It has been reported on social media that many parents in China place adhesive tape over their babies' eyes. Initially, it was thought to be due to a medical condition called microphthalmia, a very rare congenital anomaly. However, this has nothing to do with the use of tape or adhesive tape on the eyelids. The reason is purely aesthetic. In some Asian cultures, having a double eyelid, that is, a visible crease on the upper eyelid, is valued. Therefore, some parents place tape on their children's eyelids in an attempt to form this crease naturally. Some vampire bats share blood with each other, especially with family members or close companions. Although it may seem incredible, this behavior is observed when a bat regurgitates blood to feed others it hasn't been able to hunt, thus helping them survive. This action not only prevents the death of its companion, but also strengthens social bonds by building trust and friendship. It also functions as a survival strategy during times of scarcity, as the helped bat can return the favor in the future. Today's trip is over. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.